What if I told you that one of the smartest people in history was once called a slow student who would never succeed? Imagine being told that you weren't talented enough, that you asked too many questions, that you would never become anything important. Most people would lose confidence. Most people would give up. But one quiet boy refused to stop asking one simple question. Why? That boy was Albert Einstein. His curiosity changed science forever and helped humanity understand the universe in ways no one had imagined. This is the inspiring true story of a curious mind that proved intelligence is not about knowing all the answers, it's about never stopping the search for them. Albert Einstein, the curious mind. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the small German city of Ulm. His parents, Hermann and Pauline Einstein, lived an ordinary life. Nothing about their baby suggested he would become one of history's greatest scientists. As a young child, Albert developed differently from many other children. He spoke later than most and preferred quiet observation to constant conversation. Family members worried about him. Some even believed he might never become a successful student. But Albert's silence hid an extraordinary mind. He noticed things that other people ignored. He watched the movement of clouds. He studied insects crawling across the ground. He stared at stars for long periods. His curiosity seemed endless. When Albert was 5 years old, he became ill and had to stay in bed. To cheer him up, his father gave him a small pocket compass. Albert turned it in every direction. Yet the tiny needle always pointed north. He looked inside the compass. There were no strings. No hands. Nothing touched the needle. What is making it move? He wondered. That tiny compass fascinated him for days. Years later, Einstein said that moment awakened his desire to understand the invisible forces of nature. Sometimes, a single moment can shape an entire life. Albert loved books almost as much as he loved asking questions. While other children memorized lessons, Albert wanted to understand them. If someone explained a fact, he immediately asked, "Why?" When someone answered, he asked another question. Adults sometimes became impatient. Teachers often preferred students who quietly accepted information. Albert couldn't do that. He believed every answer should make sense. His curiosity often made him seem different. At school, strict rules frustrated him. Many teachers expected obedience and memorization. Albert preferred imagination and understanding. One teacher reportedly told him that he would never accomplish anything meaningful. Imagine hearing those words as a young boy. Many children would have believed them. Albert didn't. He simply continued learning in his own way. At home, his mother introduced him to music. She encouraged him to learn the violin. At first, Albert practiced reluctantly. Later, he discovered something beautiful. Music helped him think. Whenever he struggled with a difficult problem, he played the violin. The melodies calmed his mind. New ideas often appeared while he played. For the rest of his life, science and music remained close companions. As he grew older, Albert became fascinated by mathematics. A family friend introduced him to geometry. Albert was amazed that every problem followed clear logical rules. He once called his geometry book a holy little book. Unlike memorized facts, mathematics felt certain. It revealed patterns hidden beneath the surface of the world. Soon he began reading advanced mathematics far beyond his school level. His teachers were surprised. The quiet boy who struggled in traditional classrooms solved complex problems with ease. Despite his growing knowledge, Albert's path remained difficult. His family faced financial problems and moved to Italy. Albert stayed behind temporarily to finish school but soon joined them. Eventually, he applied to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. He failed the entrance examination. For many people, this would have been devastating. Albert felt disappointed. But he noticed something important. He had scored exceptionally well in mathematics and physics. His weaknesses were in general subjects like languages and history. Instead of giving up, he spent another year improving. Then he applied again. This time, he was accepted. Failure had become a stepping stone instead of a stopping point. Life at the Polytechnic introduced Albert to new friends and new ideas. Among his classmates was Milev Amerik, who shared his love of science. Albert often questioned his professors. He challenged accepted theories and explored new possibilities. Although brilliant, he wasn't always the most disciplined student. After graduation, he struggled to find a university position. Months passed. Then years. Rejections continued. Without stable employment, Albert accepted a job as a technical examiner at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. Many people viewed it as an ordinary office job. Albert viewed it differently. His work required him to evaluate inventions and imagine how they functioned. The job sharpened his ability to think deeply. During quiet moments, he filled notebooks with scientific ideas. At night, after finishing work, he continued studying physics. He wasn't famous. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't even a university professor. Yet his greatest discoveries were taking shape. Albert often imagined unusual situations. One question fascinated him more than any other. What would happen if I could ride alongside a beam of light? Most people would never ask such a question. Albert couldn't stop thinking about it. He explored the problem from every possible angle. Years of careful thought eventually produced a revolutionary idea. In 1905, often called his miracle year, Albert published 4 scientific papers. Each one transformed modern physics. One explained the photoelectric effect. Another described the random motion of tiny particles. A third introduced the special theory of relativity. And then came an equation that became one of the most famous in history. E equals mc superscript 2. This simple equation revealed that matter and energy were deeply connected. It forever changed humanity's understanding of the universe. At first, very few people noticed. Scientific revolutions rarely happen overnight. But gradually, researchers recognized the importance of Einstein's work. The quiet patent clerk had challenged centuries of scientific thinking. Albert continued exploring even greater mysteries. How does gravity work? Why do planets move as they do? Could gravity bend light itself? For nearly 10 years, he worked tirelessly. Finally, in 1915, he presented the general theory of relativity. It described gravity not as an invisible force pulling objects together but as the bending of space and time by massive objects. The idea sounded unbelievable. Many scientists remained skeptical. Then, in 1919, a total solar eclipse allowed astronomers to test one of Einstein's predictions. Their observations matched his theory. Newspapers around the world celebrated him. Headlines announced that a new scientific genius had changed humanity's understanding of the universe. Almost overnight, Albert Einstein became one of the world's most famous people. Fame never changed his personality. He remained humble. His untidy hair became famous. His warm smile made him approachable. Children wrote him letters. Journalists followed him everywhere. He patiently explained complicated ideas using simple language whenever possible. In 1921, Albert received the Nobel Prize in Physics for his work on the photoelectric effect, another discovery that helped lay the foundation for modern technology. His scientific achievements influenced countless inventions, from solar cells to electronics and beyond. As political tensions increased in Germany during the 1930s, Einstein watched with growing concern. He was Jewish, and Adolf Hitler's rise to power made Germany increasingly dangerous. Einstein chose not to return to his homeland. Instead, he moved to the United States, where he accepted a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. There, he continued researching and teaching. He also spoke openly about peace, freedom, education, and human rights. Although his scientific work made him famous, he believed wisdom should always serve humanity. One of the most difficult moments of Einstein's life came during World War II. Fearing that Nazi Germany might develop nuclear weapons first, he signed a letter urging the United States to investigate atomic research. That letter contributed indirectly to the Manhattan Project. After the war, when nuclear bombs were used, Einstein expressed deep sadness about the destructive power of such weapons. He spent many of his later years encouraging international cooperation and peaceful solutions to global conflicts. He hoped science would improve human life, not destroy it. Even as he grew older, Albert never lost his curiosity. Visitors often found him surrounded by books, papers, and chalkboards covered with equations. He continued asking questions. He continued searching for deeper understanding. Someone once asked him the secret of his success. Einstein replied, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." Those words reveal the heart of his story. He didn't believe greatness came from being born different. He believed it came from remaining curious. Albert Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955. But his ideas continue shaping our world. Modern GPS systems rely on principles from relativity. Solar panels benefit from his work on the photoelectric effect. Countless technologies trace their origins to discoveries he helped make. More importantly, his life continues inspiring students, scientists, teachers, and dreamers across the globe. His story reminds us that curiosity is one of humanity's greatest strengths. You don't have to know everything. You simply have to keep learning. Keep asking. Keep wondering. Final message. Albert Einstein wasn't remembered because he had all the answers. He became unforgettable because he never stopped asking questions. He proved that failure is not the end. That rejection doesn't define your future. That imagination is just as important as knowledge. The next time someone tells you that you're different, remember Albert Einstein. The quiet boy who spoke late. The student who challenged teachers. The young man who failed an entrance exam. The patent clerk who changed science forever. Your greatest strength may not be how much you already know. It may be your willingness to keep asking. Why? Because every great discovery begins with a curious mind. The end.